Hello guys, welcome back onto the Dutch Couch. Russell Martin at Glasgow Rangers. For me, it was never going to work. It will never work. Out of his depth on so many levels already. Clueless, naive tactically. I think a lot of these fans, a lot of the Glasgow Rangers fans didn't want him in the first place. I think they were probably more excited about seeing his girlfriend, Lucy Pinder, to be honest. I don't blame him on that score. But he's come in, he's done nothing to persuade him otherwise now. He's come in and said his players will run harder, will fight for each other. I'm not seeing any evidence of that so far. It's been a shocking start for them. I can't see any improving. They look slow, they look sluggish, they lack ideas, total lack of energy on the pitch. And for players of Rangers Football Club, that's the bare minimum required. By those supporters in particular. Massive club, massive fan base, great fans there in Scotland. What makes it worse is they're seeing Celtic, their arch rivals, obviously dominate the Scottish game at the moment. This is not helping. This won't help his cause. He needs to hit the ground running, but it's not happening. Sad. Only 3 games in, right? They're already 6 points behind Celtic. They're playing Celtic on Sunday at 12:30. If Celtic beat them, they'll be 9 points behind Celtic after 4 games. Shocking. It's over already, basically. It's crazy. It can't happen. It's embarrassing. I'm thinking, is this club too big for him? Obviously, he said, I've seen him on press conferences saying how he realises what it takes to be Rangers, what it means to be Rangers. I'm not sure he does. I saw something today I read online. I think it's after today's game. He said something like, "It's not the end of the world." You try telling that to Rangers fans when they're seeing Celtic bash everybody, and you're struggling to keep up. Schoolboy error, in my opinion, for this fella. Absolute schoolboy error. Big mistake. Read the room. I saw the game against Club Brugge in the Champions League on, I think it was Wednesday. They lost 3-1 at Ibrox. Schoolboy errors. The goals they're conceding, not only in that game, but the goals they're conceding in general are poor. Poor goals they're conceding. And if you're going into a club as a new manager where fans clearly don't fancy you anyway, you've got to do the basics right. They're struggling with the basics. And it's not a good look. I don't see any way forward for him. I really don't. The manner of the goals are ridiculous. I mean, if you lose the fans, I'm not sure he ever had them, but if you lose the fans, for me, there's no way back. That's it. You're on a downer. You're on the back foot. Unless you go into a club and hit the ground running and smash teams 3-4-5-0, as soon as you get in there, if those fans don't fancy you, you might get round them that way. This is going the opposite way for this fella. No way back, sorry. It's crazy. I mean, this is the worst league start I've read today in a Scottish League season for any permanent Rangers manager. The stats are not lying. It's strange, obviously, they've not even lost the game, but they've still not won one. When you go to Rangers, you're expected to win football matches. Simple as that. The bare minimum they expect is for you to show fight, heart, passion, and win football matches. When you're at a massive club, that's the expectation. You win, that's it. I think he's spent about £20 million in the summer. That's a lot for Scottish football now, really. But from what I'm seeing, they look worse. They look in a worse position. They don't look no better than when Clement was there. Crackers. I mean, of course, in my opinion, the players must take responsibility. They've got to take some responsibility. They're the ones who go over the white line and play. They put on that shirt, right, with that Rangers badge on it. So they should have the passion in there. But ultimately, it's the manager who buys the players, prepares them physically and mentally, tactically. He sends them over with a clear message of what he expects, what those fans expect, what that club expects. They expect, like I just said, bare minimum a bit of passion. But when I watched some of that game at St Mirren today, I didn't see that at all. I didn't see that. All I saw was a team lacking ideas. They was huffing and puffing. It didn't look like a Rangers team that, when behind, showed the absolute urgency or attacking. I mean, even today, I'm sure I read online that they didn't even have a striker playing today, and they had 2 on the bench. They was playing a player out of position up front. So that sort of tells you where they are with them. I know one of the players apparently refused to play today. Yeah, they had 71% possession, I've seen as well, but only 6 shots on target. That tells a story. This is one thing about Chris Martin. Chris Martin, I'm not a Coldplay fan, by the way. Russell Martin, when he was at Southampton, I'm sure that he's just one of those modern day coaches that are literally possession-based, stats obsessed. You can have, I've said this on multiple videos, you can have 99% of the ball. If it don't come to anything with chances on goal, it's possession without substance. There's nothing. It's pointless. You can keep the ball all day. You drew 1-1 at St Mirren, so that backs it up. You got a point out of it, when really you should be going to St Mirren, taking 3 points home all day long to Glasgow. Crazy result. It's ridiculous. I'm hearing people, obviously, it's obvious really. I'm hearing people saying, look, the quality of football in Scotland's not what it was. Pretty simple. The money's not there anymore. You had the likes of Emerick Larsson, all these stars used to play in Scotland. Gio van Bronckhorst for Rangers, brilliant player, obviously Dutch, love him, except for the final link. But you can't attract the players like that anymore. You can't attract these stars to Scotland. You've got to make the best of what you've got. And with this manager, he's obviously not making the best of what he's got already. They look a shambles for a Rangers team. Goodness. Regardless of that, to be at Rangers and Celtic, you have to have the mentality to match. This is big for me. Mentality in football, don't matter what level you're at, you have to have the right mentality. And if you're at Rangers, you have to go in there. You've got to have an elite mentality, in my opinion, to be signed for a club like Rangers. I don't care, they're not a world powerhouse, right? We know that, they're not that anymore. But they're a powerhouse in Scotland. And in your division, you have to have the mentality that you are expected to go home and away, to dominate teams, to win football matches, to get the 3 points and take them home, and also to play to a certain standard. It's not just about the 3 points. You need to play to a certain standard when you play for a football club like this. I'm not sure this guy is going to instill it. I saw him at Southampton. This is one of the reasons I've never been his biggest fan, I'll be honest with you, never been his biggest fan. When he was at Southampton, fair enough, got promotion from the Championship to the Premier League, right? And I'm thinking, coming in, he talks a good game. I think he talks a good game. This is the thing. If you talk it, you've got to be able to walk it. I don't think he can. He went into the Premier League, so naive. He didn't change anything. He's not adaptable. There's no plan B. He plays one way and that's it. If that doesn't work, you're fucked. You're getting nothing. You're finding that now. Teams seem to have found him out already. And I'm not even sure his own players know the way to play. And I'm reading someone said to me he's even lost the fucking dressing room already. I'm not sure that's the case. But when he was at Southampton, he'd send his team out to play out from the back, right? Ramsdale, he was at Arsenal, so he's used to that style of play, playing out from the back. He'd play out to the back. He was doing it with players that clearly were not capable of doing it in the English Premier League. But not once did he change his tactic, or did he think of a different way to play. He just kept on and on and on. And in the end, his own stubbornness lost him his job at St Mary's, I'm sure. They just kept conceding ridiculous goal after ridiculous goal. This guy is not adaptable. He is not elite in any way, shape or form. A little bit of a chancer in my opinion. I'm hearing people say on social media that he comes across a little bit arrogant. And he gets away with it because he's a bit charismatic. That will only carry you so far. When you come into a club like this, when there's actual pressure, it's been at the likes of Swansea, I think, and the Southamptons. There's not pressure there. You're not expected to win silverware or compete at the top. Now he's at a place he's expected. He's already being found out. He's not the level for this, in my opinion. Not at all. Unless you start like house on fire, I'll get my words out. When you go into a club and the fans make it clear they don't fancy you, unless you start like a house on fire, you're on the back foot, and he already is. And I'll give this guy, I'm not sure if their owners are going to, they've obviously picked him to come in. I'm not sure whether they're going to back him for that long if the fans start getting on their backs as well. Because that ultimately, the fans will the success of the manager and his job will basically rely on the fans a lot. Because if they start making it known that they don't want him there and it spirals, there's only one way for him, and that's out the door. And I think he'll find himself back in the Championship soon, or League One, or whatever. As much as people, look, let's get it right. We know this, right? The Scottish Premier League is not the standard of the English Premier League. It's miles off. We know that. The finances determine that, amongst other things, right? Amongst the pool of players, whatever. But you've got to prepare a team to play for a certain standard, and the level Rangers are meant to play at. This guy, the bottom line is, he's not capable of providing that. I'd love to hear from Rangers fans on this video. Not about my comment about Chris Martin or Coldplay, because I think they're shit. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on I said it again, on Russell Martin. I'll have another beer. Let me know your thoughts on Russell Martin. Anyone out there actually backing him? Because what I'm seeing online, I think I've seen one backer on Twitter. I've seen one person actually come out and say they back him. And if you're backing him, what do you see in him? Do you think he can give you, what can he bring you? I don't see it at all. I'm a total disbeliever in the guy. He's a blagger. But yeah, good luck for the rest of the season. On to the next one.